This idiom comes from a historical event in the late Eastern Han Dynasty, where the warlord Liu Bei earnestly sought the help of the brilliant strategist Zhuge Liang. Despite being rejected twice, Liu Bei humbly visited Zhuge Liang's thatched cottage a third time, showing deep sincerity and patience. Touched by Liu Bei's perseverance and humility, Zhuge Liang agreed to assist him. The phrase 3 visits to the thatched cottage is now used to describe the spirit of sincerely seeking out and valuing talent, often through persistence and humility. 3 visits to the thatched cottage. In a vast kingdom of endless dunes and whispering winds, there lived a young ruler named Alaric. He was crowned after the sudden death of his father and inherited a kingdom brittle with corruption, fear, and neglect. Though brave and good-hearted, Alaric lacked the wisdom to rebuild what was crumbling. One night, an old advisor spoke of a man called Iron, a reclusive sage said to dwell beyond the Wirem Mountains, a man who once guided kings but chose silence after a betrayal of trust. Iron. Alaric, filled with hope, set off with only a servant and a simple gift: a wooden carving of a tree, symbolizing growth and rebirth. When Alaric reached the distant valley where Iron lived in solitude, he was turned away by the gatekeeper, who told him, "The sage sees no kings, nor listens to their promises." Alaric left, disappointed but undeterred. He returned a second time, bearing no gift, only stories. Honest stories of his people's suffering and his own failings as a leader. The gate remained closed. On the third visit, Alaric arrived alone, after a week-long storm had ravaged the mountains. Soaked and weary, he waited silently at the gates for 3 days without food or shelter, tending to a fallen bird that had broken its wing. On the fourth morning, Iron opened the gate himself. He had been watching. "I did not open the gate because of your crown," the sage said, "but because you came not as a ruler, but as a man willing to wait, to serve, and to learn." Years passed. With Iron's guidance, Alaric transformed his kingdom. Not with swords, but with schools, not by conquest, but by compassion. He learned that leadership was not about commanding obedience, but about earning trust, and that wisdom must be sought with patience, not purchased with power. And so, long after his reign ended, the people remembered Alaric not for the crown he wore, but for the walk he made. 3 times over mountains, in search of a teacher.